Happy New Year's from the world of the International Art Doll Registry. Remember, Bambi, about us talking about a zombie apocalypse?
Yes, that's like my favorite term. When I was a teacher, I used to tell my students all the time that they had to get ready for the zombie apocalypse. Shows like The Walking Dead are so popular and there were so many spin-offs. And when I was teaching, The Walking Dead was really, really big. Zombie apocalypse was kind of real to them. So, but it did make them think about survival techniques. Certainly gets us to thinking.
So, as a small business, how do you think we could prepare for our business for something like that?
I certainly think being more mindful of our organization skills is going to be paramount. It's so easy for us. I can look around my own studio, gets out of hand sometimes. We don't really know what we have. This time of year is a time when we clean up and organize and purge and make New Year's resolutions and things like that. First of all, what you have, what do you use a lot of? What do you need regularly? What do you have that's going to last you 5 years? I'm still using the same jars of mica powder that I bought 10 years ago when I first started, and they're not even half gone. I may never need to buy mica powder again in my life. But clay, oh my gosh, I cannot have enough black clay. And if I don't have black clay, I don't have a business. But those are things that we need to think about right now.
Especially as you're saying, think about them, but also thinking what would be harder to get, because if you know where your connection is that something to where prices are going to be going up? Are they going to be harder to get? So when you're thinking about that inventory, as you said, think about yourself for more than just 6 months. Think about yourself for what do I need to do for the next couple of years?
Also, where are you located? Where we live here in the United States, we've got a couple of large chain craft stores, as well as a few smaller ones. I mean, even fabric stores usually have some crafting supplies and stuff where we can get basic things like clay. But I doubt very seriously that you could get the specific type of liquid porcelain that you want for your dolls. People who live in countries where clay is hard to get or where there are high tariffs on their clay that comes into their country. Even people in like Belgium, glitter has been outlawed in Belgium and you
Yep.
can't get glitter now. Glitter is a big part of your business and you couldn't get it. You'd be in a bind. So we need to start thinking about those things now.
In my case, I live in a small town. And so even though I may have some of those craft store options, what used to be available there for choices has now maybe gone from 10 choices to only like down to two. That's again
Oh,
needing to be
yeah.
aware of what
Yeah.
truly can you get your hands on.
Yeah, do your research now and find out what your options are. Where else can you get things? Think about diversifying your business. If I suddenly couldn't get black clay, I'd be very limited to the things that I could make for my studio. I'm probably limited to, the things I don't use black clay for are dolls, pretty much dolls, and things that I'm going to paint, neither of which are my expertise, neither of which are my big money makers. Those are things that I'm still working on and studying and learning about and practicing, that kind of thing. Whereas things I make with black clay, those are things I make, I'm really good at, I can make them beautiful, and I sell them pretty easily, both online and in my studio. Your artwork is your livelihood. You need to think about diversifying.
As you said, selling online as well, because I was really surprised here just recently to find out that the postage has gone up, that my 7.95 small priority box that I was using a couple of years ago is now up to $11. That again makes a difference for what we have to charge for a product. But
Yeah.
I'm always one that likes to offer a solution for the small businesses that want to try to work on getting a discount for their shipping. You can go to the USPS and you click and ship. And then you set yourself up a business account. And you can do this on the USPS site. It's called USPS.com. And when you set up your business account, you basically do print your own stickers, your stamps. You can even use plain paper and tape them on the box. And
Mhm.
that can save you up to almost $2 on that priority box.
I've used this, especially in the beginning of my art career. I did most of my sales online, so I did a lot more shipping than I do now. Using that service from the US Postal Service is a lifesaver. And you don't even realize, you think, oh my gosh, I've got to go out to the Office Depot and buy some stickers that'll go in my printer. But no, you're right. You just print it on a piece of paper and stick it on there with a piece of clear packing tape, and you're good to go. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just put a note in your mailbox for your mail carrier and that person will come right to your garage or your door or your front door and pick it up for you. You don't have to do anything. Or you can just pop into the post office and walk past all the people in line and drop it over there on the counter for the outgoing mail. So oh my gosh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's so convenient and it saves you so much trouble and it will save you money, especially people who are shipping overseas. Oh my goodness, the postage for shipping things overseas is going to be really
Oh,
astronomical.
even to Canada. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing me how much is even
Yes.
going up to Canada. And as a small business, we are really needing to rely on that online shipping avenue. So anything that we can do to save money there is crucial, I think.
Hmm.
So,
When I order art supplies online, Blick.com comes to mind. They sell a lot
mhm.
of art supplies. You do get notices of specials, usually before anybody else, or shortages of things, or things that people have been waiting for if there's been a shortage and now they have some in stock, so you do get those kind of things before other people. So I recommend kicking the bucket and clicking that link to get the emails.
Well, and Blix is also a good one for ordering quantity because if you order like quantity of 12 of like paint, they'll give you a discount. And that goes back to that inventory. Check your
Yes.
inventory. Would 12 work for you better right now than just ordering the one or two that you normally would have ordered?
Yes, absolutely, certainly. Also, check out sites that cater to educators and like art teachers and things like that in schools. They often have specials and things like that, that especially like if you're going to buy things in bulk, if you have things like if I wanted to buy black clay, for example, I might go to an educator site where you can buy things like that in bulk. And you don't always have to be an educator or an
Well,
art
for
teacher or
just
anything.
example, what do you mean by an educator site? What I don't wouldn't even know how to put in something like that.
I would search for like art teacher supplies,
Okay.
for example. Or
Hmm.
just teacher supplies, and then maybe click on art.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, and the third thing that I think is going to be really, really important during our zombie apocalypse is keeping our sense of humor.
The zombie apocalypse. Oh my gosh. So it is. It's funny to think about. I started collecting my little bag of survival skill things. I have a thing to start fires, and I have a little solar panel that'll plug into my uh, electronics, my phone. I can plug in my laptop too. But we certainly need to be thinking about stockpiling some of those things that we need. Where can you put them? Again, we go back to get organized, do some inventory of your stuff. Also, it's very freeing when you organize your workspace. You're amazed how free you feel, how much more positive you feel in there. And knowing what you have is inspiration in itself. You pull out something from the back of your closet and you think, oh, I forgot I had this. So it's very inspiring too. There's a lot to be said for that. But do go ahead and if you're not a natural hoarder, become a hoarder. If you're a little OCD and you're very organized, all of your art supplies are like color coded and organized like an art supply store. More power to you. But
Yeah, I was going to say, not in my life.
no, me either, me either. I think for the majority of us, we our brains don't really work that way. Or at
Yeah,
least
but
our
I
brains want to work that way. Our brains want to work that way, but the other side of our brains are going, yeah, but let me show you this.
well, and I do because I'm one that just gets distracted by the bling, and as soon as I find something, it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to do this and this with it, and that's again where it helps that mental
Yeah.
attitude to say, yes, I can do that, and I can still get it out there, and that's the reason why I said, have fun playing again with what you think you already have.
This is the perfect time of year to do it too. There, make those resolutions. Be sure to put on your calendar the first week in February. Have I finished organizing my craft room or my art studio so that you have a reminder because as we all know, we make those resolutions. We do great that first week and then we were like, what resolution?
And this year, this Chinese year is going to be the snake. Snakes are about transformation. So this sounds like a
Yeah.
perfect time to transform your room into being more organized and more fruitful for what you want to be able to create out of it.
So I have to tell people I'm nodding my head right now, agreeing completely.
With that in mind, I'm going to hold you to the gun, though, too, in respect of with our next podcast. I'm looking forward to see what else I might be seeing about your stop motion action.
My goodness, yes, 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 yes. I had a brainstorm the other day. I made these, I've talked before about making the dolls, kind of making four heads and then making four hands and 4 feet and then four bodies and in succession like that so that I each one gets better and better and better. I have now four complete dolls.
Wow, okay.
And the first one is okay, all the way up to one that's much better than the other three. They're all kind of lined up there. So my next thing to do is paint them. All right. And it's kind of holding me back, which is something I think we've probably talked about before, our fear of starting.
Yep.
I'm not a good painter. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not confident about doing it, right? And to take that brush with that wet paint on it and stick it onto your doll that you've spent hours crafting is terrifying. So they're all waiting there to get painted.
Create your own little zombies chasing you soon if you don't paint them, dear.
I know it. I know it. As they're all sitting there lined up on my table though, I look at them and I think, oh, this one's too skinny. Oh, or it would stand up so much better if its legs were heavier or something like that. And Leslie, I don't know what happened today. It's like a literal light bulb went off over my head. I have not even started painting any of these dolls right now. They're just clay. I can add on all the clay I want to. I can make their legs a little heavier. So guess what? I don't have to paint them right now. I'm going to go add some more clay.
That is a kind of a win-win situation.
I know it. I know it. I solved my own problem.
On that note, we will wait in anticipation to see how your creatures come alive, dear.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, then,
Happy New Year. I look forward to hearing about all your resolutions. Put them down in the comments.